Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, RDV, and I'm here with your mother, Eric Breen. He's,
I'm a beautiful woman.
he is. All right. So, if you guys don't know the drill here, basically what we do is we talk about the books that we got this week, and that's basically a follow up to our Tuesday night streams, where we basically we predict our top 5 books of the week, and this is where we find out are those same 5 books that we talked about on Tuesday night in our top 5 of the best books of the week, and For those of you who might have missed our stream last night, me and Zach went over a list from the Mary Sue, talking about their list was the best books and graphic novels of 2022. 30 books, man. Oh, and Flash was on them. Flash was on one of the books. Was one of the books they had on the list. Eric, it's crazy. So
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that.
yeah. So yeah, it's like I said, go check if you guys haven't checked that out. Go check it out and let me know what you thought of those books. And then Zach and I gave a little bit of our books that we were going over each week, So all right, so I'm gonna start showing off some books. And how's your night been, Eric?
Well, I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop.
I'm waiting for my camera to focus, and it doesn't like me.
Yeah, it's still in the 40s, and
Oh, really?
yeah, but it's going to be 12 hours from now. It's going to be 3 below.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's -1 by me right now.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, yeah, I can never get really comfortable when it's like this because what if the furnace goes?
You know, that's the thing. I can tell you right now, this cold weather, you should. I mean, if you have under your sink, you should have the doors open to let heat go with the pipes. They don't freeze your, water pipes.
Right, but that has nothing
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
with whether the furnace goes.
I know. I know. Yeah. Yes. Some of the you could have the best furnace, but if it gets down to like anywhere for long period of times, like 40, even down to 70 below, they get to Siberia. That's when your air furnace goes. It's crazy. But yeah, they're calling for wind chills here down to the -34, especially for tomorrow too.
Yeah, we're getting
Yeah,
that too.
yeah. But hey, I got like no snow, so it's fun. Oh yeah, and Marnie said she's getting rain over by her. Over in Washington, they got rain over there too, freezing rain. In parts of my state, we got freezing rain. But yeah, I'm just getting all wind tomorrow.
Yeah, it was supposed to rain real hard and then turn to snow, but it's the rain's already stopped, so might get lucky there. But
All right. So all right. So I have 20 books this week. I'm not gonna lie. I do it by. It's only because every book I pretty much decided to drop before Christmas, and I got this book because of J. Scott Campbell. It's the only reason I got this because I was like, okay, and it's Jed McKay. So I figured, well, I'm like, I don't care about this dark web thing. I didn't even look into it, so I was going into this. I was like, okay, the last team up they had was all right, but because of the crap they're doing with Zeb Wells and stuff, where Mary Jane and Peter are not together, uh, major tone a difference in tone. This, it's obviously they had to incorporate what's going on with the current crap, where she wants something to do with Peter Parker, and apparently Mary Jane is developed superpowers. They're kind of like a slot machine, and yeah, it's so she gets different powers, and people are speculating because she wears this bracelet she's got. There might be a magical bracelet she has. But overall storyboard, though, apart from this, apparently Ben Riley, along with his redheaded girlfriend, opened up the gates to hell, and now it's pretty much like New York is basically like hell on earth. I guess I don't know. But yeah, in this book, Mary Jane gets powers, and Black Cat was if it starts off with Black Cat, this is a Black Cat book with Mary Jane guest starring. Black Cat, it says like, even though it's like, here, even though these two are, it's just strange going to check on this girl for Peter, because Peter is busy doing other things, and she does not like Mary Jane, mainly because, well, Mary Jane doesn't give a shit about Peter Parker because she's got a new boyfriend, who has 2 kids, and he said, like, and out of respect though for, I froze a little bit. out of respect for Peter Parker, she says, like, here I go, and like, I'm checking on this girl, and I promised, I would not date Peter Parker after they had their fallout, and which is really dumb. I think Black Cat, if they don't want Mary Jane to be with her, Black Cat go after Peter Parker.
Oh, they don't want Peter Parker to have a girlfriend.
Exactly, I know, which is really dumb.
So they think he's the sad sack.
Yeah, and this is horrible because they're basically did what they're doing to him is they did to Tony Stark since Civil War. They're trying to really just nerf Spider-Man, just tear him down because for whatever reason they don't want Spider-Man to be the face of the company or whatever. I have no idea what the thought process on behind that is. But anyway, so my problem with this book is that so Black Cat arrives, goes to look at, and she finds Peter Parker, not finds Peter Parker, but finds Mary Jane there, and she's got powers. She's like, what the, and she's like, don't tell, and Mary Jane's like, don't tell Peter. He's like, I'm thinking, what? You don't, because he doesn't want Peter Parker's help. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? The guy who basically is basically worships the ground that Mary Jane, stands on, and she wants not, and the guy that she's said time and time that she loves him, and she wants nothing to do with him now. Like, this is so forced on the character, and I can't blame Jed MacKay because Jed MacKay just has to follow the status quo. Whatever the main thing is at Marvel. So it's just, I'm thinking like, if I were Black Cat, I would have been to Black Cat. She's like, well, fuck you, and just left, let her die, But so we find out though, there's a callback to basically Liliana Rasputin, magic, the demon that basically where she was in. Remember, she was in limbo.
Mm-hmm.
The demon, he shows up at the end of this book.
Belasco.
Yep. So I don't know what his involvement is, but I thought this was gonna be a one shot. That's another reason I got it too.
Yeah, this sounds like a less interesting Inferno done by less talented people.
Right? Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, I picked it up for the J. Scott Campbell cover, and the last time these two were teamed up is when Mary Jane was still in love with Peter. It's just weird how Marvel has just become anti-Peter, like they just were remember DC was anti-Wally, but this is more on a grander scale. They just hate Peter Parker. So, well,
if they present Peter Parker in any kind of positive light, which is weird considering, we all know that Marvel wants, Captain Marvel to be the face of the comics and the movies.
Mm-hmm.
She's neither.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Yep.
And it shouldn't matter because they're two different audiences anyway.
So
all they're doing is, they're fortunate that if you put Amazing on top of Spider-Man, you get the top selling book.
Yeah.
But anything else is middling.
So the other story here is in here because I was surprised. There's a second story by Jed MacKay in the back here. It's basically it starts off with Black Cat sneaking into Doom's castle, stealing his mask off his nightstand, and then escaping through his time portal. And then she has this crazy adventure where she's going through time, and then first it shows her making out with the guy. I was like, what the heck is this? Because that's not normal for Marvel. All women have to be lesbians. And you see her later on, making out with the black girl. So I was like, okay, so basically they confirmed that she's bisexual, which is really weird. And then it turns out at the end of this, she's sitting around at a poker game with Ben Grimm and all the other guys. I forgot who they are, but they're and they find out they call her bluff, and she's like, yeah, they made it all up especially because they point out that the mask that she has, Doom's mask, using for collateral so she can keep playing, was made in Mexico.
Okay, I was gonna say that I like that better than her actually stealing Doctor Doom's mask because that's
yeah.
Because I said, speaking of characters that have been nerfed,
yes,
yeah. So that's
but so that's why this is at the bottom of the pile, and also because I just like I said, I want to give Marvel a shot. I've read Leah Williams' Amazing Mary Jane was better than this. Well,
that's because it was set in the one thing she actually knows.
All right. So my number 19. For those who are wondering, this was actually supposed to be my number one book of the week, but it just took a quality dip in writing. I didn't care for the plot. Casey Jones basically ends up stumbling upon this. I think it's called RCI, whatever the lab is. Apparently, it's from the cartoons or something like that, or from the comic books. Anyway, he gets caught and walks through it with a testing experiment. He gets electrical powers, ends up going crazy, starts going uber oh, you jaywalked. You're now, now I'm going to arrest you and stuff. And he ends up fighting against the turtles. And they have to struggle to try to get a cure for him. April O'Neil was done disservice. Her face looked like a horse. She basically had the Sasha Banks look going the whole entire issue. And then they got rid of her. She used to be thick, bro. In the cartoons, they just really made her a twig in this. But over that, the story was just kind of mediocre compared to the first two. Not as much laughs. I mean, there was a little bit of Michelangelo, but not enough to put it back to number one like it used to be. So I'm hoping the next issue takes off and goes back to the normal flow, but it's on number 19. This is Eric Burnham. This is the guy who usually writes the Ghostbuster stuff for IDW. So, yeah, it's it's crazy. All right. Number 18, Savage Tales. This is basically has 4 different little stories in here. There's and this is done by the Kurt Busiek School. People have been working there, so they have like 4 tales. First one I believe is Draculina, and then she goes wrestling. She goes against this demon and this human. They basically teamed up together. And she goes to thwart them, and then to do that, she does all different wrestling moves. I was like, "What is this crap?" It was real weird. It's out of place. And then, so I didn't care for that first story. Second story is Vampirella, and it's basically Vampirella basically talking. It starts off like almost like a Warren issue, where she does the narration she sets up the story, and then she gets involved in the story, and then towards the end, it's just kind of like she has a little circle again, and that's just so it was okay. It was a lot better than I expected that was going to be. Trying to think what the third story was, but overall, there's 4 stories in here, and I think I actually have. Hold on, I think I might actually have the list of stories in here. Here. I know I shared it. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. First story. Yeah, the first story is Draculina, Juicing with the Devil, by Scott Brian Wilson and Matt Fuchs, as Fuch as artists. Second story was John Carter and Deja Thoris. That was a fun story. It's basically they're on honeymoon, and they come across. She gets a telepathic link with somebody who's been kidnapped. They go and rescue him, and then for whatever reason, he can't. I guess her gift to him, Deja Thoris, to John Carter, is basically have this guy basically help John Carter remember his past. But towards the end, they kind of like realize, that hey, he doesn't care about the past. All he cares about is the future with her. So it's kind of like a little romance, a little kind of thing, real short story. I liked it. The third one was Vampirella Crypt Junkies, and then the last one was Captain Gulliver Jones, his War Chapter 2, by David Avallone. That's the one I was, and apparently that one's going to be getting. It was the way it's set up. It might be another Dynamite thing. So, and I got the variant cover because I just couldn't pass this up. So, all right. All right, so that was number 18. 17 is Berserker. There's only one more issue of this, and it sets up at least on a cliffhanger a little bit. So I'm looking forward more to this. I hope the last one is like hell of a good. This one was kind of all right. But it's kind of, I can see where it's starting to get in the cracks in the shell armor. All right. And we're at 16, right? Yeah.
Yep.
All right. 16, Titans United. Blood Pack, number 4. Zach told me this is actually a not a second printing, but the cover has been used before on something else. So
I don't recognize it, but
yeah. So Donna Troy enters the fold in this because in this story, basically Raven has been held hostage by Brother Blood and Mother Mayhem, and she basically reshaped the world in their image. So everybody is pretty much under a spell, and they're trying to get all the Titans one by one back together. And they end up rescuing Donna Troy and bring her, and then so I think there's one more issue after this, and they'll be done. Overall, if you hate the HBO Max show and you're just not enjoying anything else that DC's doing, this has actually been a fun addition. Oh yeah, and Tim Drake's in here, but guess what? Tim Drake hasn't been seen anywhere near Bernard. So maybe that's the next issue. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, there will be writers that will just not acknowledge it, but they're
that's a win for me though, not acknowledging.
Yeah, but what you'll never ever see is him even look at a girl again.
Yeah. All right. Number 15, Dark Crisis. I got this cover because I kind of like this from the previous issues. This is basically where using this magic spell fusion, so the Superman and Batman merge together. But it's not in this book, so it's basically kind of like a callback to the previous couple of issues. The reason it's so far down is because, well, I didn't like how it ended. It basically ended with, and this is a huge spoiler, so if you've not read this, tune out right now. But they basically turned Nightwing into the basically the DC's Messiah now. And then where Batman says at the end of it, because basically they defeat Deathstroke, and the darkness is within him and goes into basically into Nightwing, and Nightwing says like, I don't, it's like, it's like, I don't need the darkness, so I've basically something. He's a little speech, and then he overcomes it, and at the end, at the Hall of Justice is basically like destroyed, and Nightwing picks up the candle that he had. Apparently, call back to when either Detective Comics or Batman. It was basically, and Batman says like, it's like, oh, it's like there's a candle. It's like, yeah, it's like Dick's like, I used to have this candle, like, I light it on the dark night. He's like, and use. I forgot what it is. It's something. It's on the lines of that, but So basically, like I said, I didn't care for the ending of this because they trying to turn Dick Grayson into basically the new savior of the DC universe. So I have no idea where Mark Waid's going with that. The last time I saw something stupid like this was with Kyle Rayner, where he became like he could control all the colors of all the lanterns. So, I think Zach will talk more about this later on, but that's why it's kind of down there. It's kind of a mediocre ending. All right, number 14, Emperor Strikes. It's getting better. I'm enjoying this. They brought back Queen of Hearts, and they actually give you a recap to this. I'm not sure if she's the original villain or what, but apparently she serves the Chaos God, the Mad God, and she's barely in story, but she's basically a queen that became a sorceress, became like obsessed with trying to basically bring the Mad God from his prison, bring him into the world because no man on earth is worthy of her. So she has to get the like basically the craziest demon, And so she's got a new body now, and Vampirella is basically on the ropes. All right. All right, number 13. Nice conclusion to this for Lately Hell. For those, it's just basically Dynamite crossover with Chaos character. And she's back to being back in her normal costume, or original attire. Overall, she basically it's between her and her sister. Basically have been like controlling this balance. Like they're like, I guess, immortal beings. They can't kill each other one another, but they've been playing this game as far as one's of chaos and one's of order. And she ends up getting her powers back. Spoiler. So,
So while we're between books here,
Sure.
Undead Quinn is asking how many more strikes does Marvel get before you walk away?
It all depends on what. Like I said, I'm not buying every Marvel book that's out there. There's a lot I'm not buying from Marvel. Mainly when I buy Marvel though, the books I do buy though, the ones of them, majority are the throwbacks by the older writers, because I just can't stand that some of the new writers.
Yeah, I was going to say, not to speak for you, you have decades and decades of comics
Yeah.
reading ahead of you, and
I
you're a
probably
little,
will.
you're a little, and you haven't had all the optimism beaten out of you.
No,
You're 37, I'm 60, so I'm done.
I mean,
But
dude, if I was ready around your age and I was reading all the good stuff, and I'm just the point where it's like I can see why you would be like this totally done, because it's like you've had all those good years of comic books you've read, consumed, and now nothing is not even close to that.
right.
It's not that you're aging out. It's just that the quality has gone down so much. I started in 2003 with reading comic books, so I had a lot I haven't read. I've been going back to I'm still reading back issues though. I'm still reading post Christ, this stuff and all this stuff, and we're reading a lot of 80s stuff. I'm not really into Silver Age books. I do like Golden Age, especially the Golden Age Hawkman and the Flash. So I might.
It's so weird because I said
Yeah.
I would think. Yeah, I said I like Silver Age better than Golden Age, but I don't take either of them very seriously because I mean, Marvel Silver Age books were good. DC's were fun, but but the superhero books were not really well done.
Well, I guess you can Spider-Man consider Silver Age?
When it was created, absolutely.
Yeah. So I would say I do like that.
Some people say the Silver Age ended with Conan #1. That ushers in the Bronze Age. Other people say the death of Gwen Stacy is the end of the Silver Age. Either way, there was a lot of Spider-Mans published before that. So, yeah, absolutely.
No, it's just weird that Quinn's giving you that. I mean, when he reads, what was it, Ghost Rider, like Benjamin Percy.
No, I don't think he's. I don't think he's.
I know. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, it's just that's a fair question because like I said, I think honestly, I think across the board. Now I've got no use for either of the two right now.
Sure.
When DC doesn't re-sign Jeremy Adams and gives the Flash to Tom Taylor, and I promise you that will happen.
If it does, I probably will step away and I'll just focus on reading more of the back issues. I mean, the thing is, I love doing more so talking about the books each week than I do sometimes reading them.
Because fans wanted a new Tim Drake Robin. Look what we got. Jeff Johns we wanted the JSA back. We're getting it in some way, shape, or form, but it's for a limited time.
Yeah, DC right now, what I'm reading is Jeremy Adams, Jeff Johns, Josh Williams, and Mark Waid. That's basically what's coming out every week.
Well, like I said, there's an internal struggle at DC now. I hate to say it, but I think the T's, the Teenies, the Stephanies, and the Megans are going to win. Oh, and you can lump Tom and Tom are in there.
Yeah, so the whole thing with the Jeremy Adams, so I'm going to wait till it actually comes to fruition right now because they're still talking about doing the bi-weekly. Or bi-monthly, whatever it is. They're going to have.
There's no way it doesn't happen. It's too much of a DC thing to do at this point.
I mean, like I said, no disrespect to Wes, but until I see something happen, I'm just kind of like stressing out over it. I'm enjoying what's here. Why I have it. It would suck if Jeremy Adams gets kicked off of Flash. I mean, that's the stupidest thing ever. Because then again, I don't look at what the sales are for Flash. I don't pay attention to that.
Here's why I know it's going to happen. They don't have to bring Tom Taylor in, but I want you to think of a couple names: Peter J. Tomasi, Dan Jurgens, Superman, Brian Michael Bendis. Right now, Tom Taylor is
and now Josh Williamson's going on Superman.
Right. Tom Taylor is the most important writer at DC now in their eyes.
He's writing DC's and he's writing Nightwing.
It probably killed them to have to cancel, the gay Superman, but it just wasn't selling at all. He's got the exclusive deal at DC. Jeremy Adams' contract is almost up. I think right now the two Toms and the Gal Squad are DC's future. Not Jeff Johns, not Jeremy Adams, not Dan Jurgens, not Joshua Williamson.
You know what I'd say though? It's like if Jeremy Adams does walk away from that, Jeremy Adams can basically, I would say, put him on another title. I mean, let him do more with Jeff Johns stuff. I mean, he's proven that he can write. And if he leaves DC, put him on a Dynamite book, man, or let him go to Zenith. I mean, this guy.
He says he wants to stay on the Flash. If they pull that out from under him and give it to Tom Taylor, he needs to walk.
And I hope he just tells him off.
Yeah.
Now I know that he is they probably don't. I mean, I can see why Tom Taylor is mad because you got this guy who goes to church every week. He's talking about it and he's posting videos of him taking his daughters, to either sing at church or something. They don't. I'm sure that irritates the heck out of Tom.
He might vote the wrong way too, even.
Yeah. As far as Jeremy Adams, he's never said what he votes for. No, he's an old school writer creator that doesn't vouch into that stuff. He doesn't tell you stuff. It's not important.
They also brought up that Jeremy Adams is a unicorn in today's comic book writing. He researches the characters that he writes.
Yep.
And like I said, the other people that I mentioned, they don't have to.
True.
They don't bother to.
Well, yeah, that's whether Marvel or DC, because all you have to do is just retcon it. You just ignore everything happened in the past run. Look at Mortal X-Men and look at Donny Cates. He just totally said, screw that stuff. I'm starting fresh, new. Now I don't know what happened to Cates, but Cates is gone. He's not
Personal
writing
problems. Bad ones.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm not on his Twitter. I'm probably blocked.
No, I know people who know people, and it's not pretty right now. He's having some problems.
Well, hopefully it's not health or marriage. But
yeah, unfortunately, it's probably both.
I mean, they live in Texas. Maybe they moved to the wrong part of Texas. I realize they're freaking out now, like the couple. And
no, it's just and personal feelings. I have nothing against Donny Cates. I hope he works through these and comes out on the other side stronger. Because I said it's.
Isn't that funny though? Like we're the side that basically cares about the other ones. Like even though we don't like what they say and do, but we still care about as a human being. It's funny about that. I was thinking about the other day. It's like I don't personally like Joe Biden. I don't like all these other guys, Obama and stuff. Or any of these other politicians like Schumacher. But I don't wish ill upon them.
You mean Schumer?
Or whatever. I guess Schumer, whatever.
Yeah, Chuck you, Schumer.
Chuck you.
That's what Limbaugh used to call him.
I call him Shuey.
Well, it's
yeah. So I mean, whatever case is going through, that sucks, man. It's like and like I said, I don't wish ill on my enemies because I wouldn't want them wishing it on me either. It's like I don't.
They would, but that's what makes us better than them.
Yeah.
Now, getting back to Jeremy Adams for a second before you go to the next book.
Yeah.
Now, here's where this is going to doubly suck. He doesn't have the cachet yet in his career to go do a book for Dynamite and have it sell because it's Jeremy Adams, like a Jeff Johns with Geiger or something like that. That's built up a track record that will, people will go with him and at least give them a chance. If you see Jeremy Adams on a book that's not a character, you may not pick it up.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I like to think that he's more. A lot of people know who Jeremy Adams is because they've been reading The Flash. I mean, hell, it made it onto a Mary Sue list for best comic books of the week or the year.
That amazes me. That they put
yeah.
that on there.
Well, it could be because what he's doing. You know, he's got Wally being married, and he's got kids, and he's family oriented, and he's got a baby on the way.
All of that's anathema to the Mary Sue.
I know, isn't that crazy though? I mean, even has his wife Linda doing superhero stuff too.
Yeah, I don't like that because I don't like it when it's Mary Jane. I don't like it when it's Linda. Because
the thing is though, she's not really going out. She helped him out a little bit, but I think because she's getting pregnant now, you're going to see where she's not going to fight as much because they don't know what's going to do with this baby.
No, but it's there.
I hope that's the case.
That makes comic book couples work is the dynamic that the person that doesn't have the powers is usually the stronger of the two because they have to be.
But remember, these are temporary powers. They don't know. I mean, her powers could start fluctuating because
hopefully they go away. Because I said I mean, it's a minor gripe. I mean, if the whole Teen Flash thing that I'm kind of over that. Not everybody has to have powers, but anyway, we're gonna be here all night if we don't get to the next book.
Yeah, we gotta make it done before Zach gets here.
Yeah, where is Zach?
I don't know, but number 12, issue 2 of a 3-part story. Basically, this is a twist on the tale of Wizard of Oz, where the original Wicked Witch, I guess, well, not really, it's really a twist, but I mean, she was a good witch until she lost her child, and then she basically turned her back on the land of Oz, and they end up banishing her. But now she's come back, and then she basically wants the revenge. She wants to enslave, and it's up to Dorothy, her friends, and Gilda, the Good Witch, to take her on. And this twist, the story is that Dorothy has magical powers. I'm not sure why or what, but I don't even. I don't really. I only watched the Judy Garland Wizard of Oz, so I have no idea what's going on with this return to Oz and all the other stuff. So, but fun story though. First one comment. Go ahead.
Did you know that Wizard of Oz was originally a silent movie? The Judy Garland was a remake?
No, I did not know that. Oh.
Yeah, I think 1925.
So, also, the line here is like pretty vicious, man. He's like, I like it. So it's almost like for those who know Battle Beast from Kirkman's Invincible, like the lion is like pretty much badass in here, and then the Straw Man kind of backs down. But there's no Tin Man though. And also, Toto's a freaking giant wolf. It's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty violent. All right. Next one is one I picked this up because I was like, you know what? It's out of the page. This is spinning out of the pages of the latest Jennifer Blood, which I didn't like. But it's the one shot. This is basically this was the assassin that was trying to hire to kill her, the Italian assassin. And this is basically The Tempest. Shakespeare's The Tempest, done in comic book form, in the Jennifer Blood style. Jennifer Blood's not in this whatsoever, but overall, it's a very good story. I would recommend it for one shot. So that's why it's my number 12. Or actually, my number 11. All right. 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, actually, no, that was my 12. Okay. I don't know why I thought that was. All right, this is my number 11. Go, Nani. I won't say anything about this. I'll just because I know Eric, you haven't read it yet. But overall,
I'll go ahead.
No, it's a very quick issue for me to read through. Wraps up this chapter arc. She ends up at while her I guess not say her lover, but her friend partner. He's the FBI agent. Is being interrogated. She's infiltrated this and I guess she's in Vegas or somewhere, and she is trying to stop the killer that basically was they're framing her. They end up getting captured, and then it's revealed the whole plot is that it's basically that the blonde, the girl in here, basically wanted to get revenge on not only the main girl in here, but also another guy that she was working with, because for a pass or whatever, and she ends up basically suicide blasting bombing. Basically, and they're tied in a room, chairs, and she hits a bomb, blows it up. At the end of this, the agent is they're gonna send him off to kill him because he won't talk, and they want to know where this girl is, the main girl, and she ends up breaking him out. And then they are basically on the run now.
Yeah, at least they let let the guy riding, on the back of the motorcycle, put his legs between the seat and not ride side saddle.
Yeah,
like Green Arrow. I had two things. Heck of a cover. I mean, there's all kinds of great covers on this series, but that one really, really pops.
Actually, that was 10. Actually, my bad. That was 10.
And credit where credit's due. Black Cat's shot about the original. That's good.
All right. So this is number 9.
A guy as witty as Black Cat. A lot of the ones that just make me chuckle or laugh, I don't bother to bring up because almost all of them do. Yeah. That one made me laugh hard.
The original silent movie, or you're just going to hear the dialogue. All right. All right. So this is number 9. This is the Joker and the Key. I guess, is he Keymaster or is this the Key, right? This is Key. Who actually was kind of funny because we talked about him last Friday because he was in a story, one of the Christmas stories with the Justice League, because he was dying. And this is he's working with the Joker. They're interrogating the kid, and overall, it's a fun story. And then all the way to the end, it's just that it felt a little bit short to me though. But overall, the art's great in this. Definitely, Mark Waid is still. Like I said, I like what he's writing so far. His quality hasn't dipped yet, other than the Dark Crisis, But I don't know. So yeah. 6, 8. Number 8, Scorch. This focuses more on basically the team ignoring, basically going behind Spawn's back, and doing their own little missions now. And they come across basically a character called the Mandarin. Well, he's got a different name, but they refer to him as the Mandarin. And this focuses more on She-Spawn basically being leading the team, which I thought was like, wow, it's like they're actually doing with that. They're actually focusing more on her and less of the other ones. So it was a fun book. It's been getting better. That's Sean Lewis doing the writing. So that's why I'm enjoying it, because it's not Todd McFarlane writing. All right. Number 7 is Junkyard Joe. I got the Spawn variants, and it has Geiger on it, and I had with his dog, and it has Junkyard Joe. So, this is only the 3rd issue, Breen. It's been a fun little ride here. It's Junkyard Joe. Basically, he showed up in Vietnam with these guys. All the platoon got killed except for one guy, which he saved. This Muddy Davis, I think his name is, and he basically saves him. And it takes like 50 years later or something like that, where he's basically his wife had just died, and Joe shows up. Meanwhile, there's a family across the street. It just moved there. The guy's he's a IT guy. His wife has died. He's there with his 2 daughters and his son, and they're kind of having a fallout because they just moved from San Francisco, and now they're facing and they went through a small town, and they're already being harassed because they're different, because they're South Korean. They're not so basically there's some racism in the book. And Joe's also being hunted down by his creators, and he's basically helping out Muddy Davis. So I'm curious what's when the conflict is, but basically the daughter is basically seen that Joe walking through the house. So and the daughter basically is a huge fan. She loves art. Her mom was an artist, and she basically so like I said, it's a little sentimental. It's different from Geiger, where Geiger was just like people just trying to get it kill this guy. It's
or they was trying to kill this Geiger.
All right. Number 6. It's DCeased. Speaking of Tom Taylor, it's getting there. But huge spoiler this. I'll tell you right now. If you haven't seen it, or been reading the following this book, or maybe you don't care about it, this is your chance to step away. And so basically, in this story, you get Mr. Mxyzptlk goes with Superman and the Batman, basically with Damian Wayne. They go to basically fight against the oncoming the new gods, who are basically are possessed by the Anti-Equation. And they fight against them. Mxyzptlk goes up the dark side, and he's like, basically what Mixie does. Mixie pauses, doesn't do everything, ends up being stabbed and infected, turns into a giant Mxyzptlk, monster. And they're trying to save this planet from being overrun. Meanwhile, then they basically go to attack Oa, take out the Green Lantern battery. And as the lanterns are pretty much all in space dying because they were told not to go, but it was Kilowog's homeworld, and Kilowog was not going to stand out, so they came. So they're all about to die in space. Spectre shows up and grabs the battery and basically allows them to use his power to keep them alive. So they're using him as a battery. Overall, art's great. So, and I did get the alternate covers for Scorch. This is Haunt through Image Books. Basically crossover Spawn before. And it actually had his own ongoing series too. And then here's the normal cover for Junkyard Joe. So. All right. And before I get to the top 5, I want to show you some other books I got this week. Picked up. Chuck Dixon as new issue come out. Bear Boy 52.
Oh,
I did not.
I didn't know it was out.
Yeah, came out. It was supposed to come out in November. It finally showed up.
No, we didn't get it.
No. 51 came out last year, I think, or earlier this year.
Wasn't blown away by that one.
Okay. I've said this from what I've been told. This is a continuation of the actual series he did back in the 80s. So I'm eager to go back and read those.
Oh, definitely. That's a fantastic series.
Yes. I read the little mini series with the other girl. He did with Chuck Dixon with Valkyrie.
Yeah.
I read those. Those are fun. So I want to read before I get to. I'm gonna try and find 51 because apparently I did not know this. It was a Steranko did a variant cover for the Kickstarter.
He did.
And oh my gosh, wow! How old is Steranko? He's got to be in his. He's got to be
almost 80.
Almost 80.
Yeah.
Man, I love his art. He can still draw. Because I thought, like, wait, is that an older drawing they're just putting on the cover? No, he just did that, and he's almost 80 years old. That's insane. That's cool. So I gotta go read that 1 through 51 and then get to this. So I'm excited. But I saw it was like Airboy. I'm like, isn't that Chuck Dixon? I'm like, is this a reprint? Because that's what I was right away. Because it's all new art. No, it's a new issue of an ongoing series. It's the longest ongoing series. All right. And then, all right. So then I also Walking Dead came out this week. So I never really include these in the top any of the books because these are older books. These are reprints with new material in them. But I got some connecting covers. Normally there's only one connecting cover, so I usually just grab that one. So I got this, and then this is the other one that says ending. And then a new connecting cover, like I just showed you, is taking over. But they had a freaking Spawn variant. So I had to grab that. And that's kind of cool. I never expect, Spawn crossing over, I never expected to be on the reprints, the like. So like that's what I got. That, and then I showed this off last night, but I'll show it off again. The Death of Superman. Basically, this is the 30th anniversary deluxe edition hardcover. So, I got this right around $30, and this has what is it? The 2003 miniseries Superman Day of Doom as an extra bonus going in there, but it collects all the other ones. And hello to Mr. Zach.
What's up, everybody? Greetings and salutations. How are we doing this evening?
All right.
Doing good. You're just a little quiet on my end, but maybe not.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, just a little bit.
I can shout if that makes... No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
All right.
That up a little bit.
All right. So, with that being ado, I'm going to do my top 5. Fun series, and yeah, right. He does put on the helmet in this series.
Cool.
If you haven't read this, Zach, I hope you have got at least got these up and read it. This has been a fun series. This is going to tie into Lazarus Island, whatever it is,
Planet, Lazarus Planet.
Yeah. I might be picking up the Lazarus Planet, whatever that is. In the right way, I'm enjoying his writing on this more so than Dark Crisis. Dark Crisis was kind of
Yeah, it kind of petered out. I actually didn't pick that one up. I forgot to pick that one up.
No. So I won't spoil it for you, but I'll just say he does put on the helmet, and it has kind of a milk toast ending because it's going to tie into something else, obviously. So so it's not over yet because the villain has to get away because obviously the main villain in the Lazarus thing is going to be this guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But overall, though, I was just like, when he puts the helmet on in this series, I was just, and then he makes the little bat ears helmet.
I was about to say, it's his ears. He had the bat ears in the helmet.
Yes, it formed on the helmet, and he puts it on.
That's funny.
Fun, just overall fun, man. It's just, I just can't wait for the next chapter in this. So, all right. Number 4. This book surprised me, and this is by a guy whose other book, who was the number 20 on my list, was the worst book of the week.
20 books?
Yeah, everything dropped this week.
Good Lord, man.
Dude, I pick up new books all the time. I try to give one shots to try.
20 books is crazy. Yo, I actually am. I'm gonna pick up because when I guess he's back, and so it's gonna be. They're gonna put it back to number 1. I'm gonna pick up Doctor Strange number 1.
Yeah, so this is the second, I guess. I don't know. This is the final one. I think there's one after this.
Yeah, there might be one more. I think there's
and then it goes to one.
And then it goes to Doctor Strange.
This started off a week, but it's slowly getting better and better. They're going against the blasphemy cartel, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
And all it was them just kind of like flirting back and forth with each other, and fighting. Kicking ass. That's pretty much what it was. Which I don't mind. And there's even a callback to basically how even it says because he works for Death, Doctor Strange's, because he died. His body was made for collecting the souls. The ending of this, is the villain, the ultimate Trump villain they use because basically. The heroes they've been bringing back and stuff, and the villain stuff, and they're possessed by the demon souls. It's been because the Blasphemy Cartel has been using them as weapons.
Oh, is this where I think I saw?
So you saw a little thing probably on CBR, but
yeah,
they brought like a character created by Paul Jenkins. So
I saw who they're bringing back as the zombie. It's kind of cool, actually. What really got me is, I'm a sucker for like sappy stuff, romance stuff. I'm kind of like that. Clea Strange, she says he comments he's like, oh, the Clark Revelation looks kind of cute. And she's like, you know what? I kind of like your silver hair and stuff. They're kind of this flirt as they're fighting, and he says like, hey, Clea, we can't kill. He's like, I'm gonna freaking kill all this mess because these assholes and stuff. And he's like,
she's like, you know what? He frustrates me no end because even though he's dead and all stuff, you know, he at the end he's a guy. He's the total opposite of what she was raised to be. He's a guy who cares about everything. Even if they're like he's a doctor at the end, he cares about all life. You know, when you're trying to fix things, and that's what it says. That's why I love him. You know, because you know, and he's, you know, so as I said, it was an overall an interesting book for me. And I said I hope they do keep them together, at least in the book together. You know, and Brina was reading up more about that Ben Franklin thing. It really was even Ben Franklin. Apparently, unless they retconned it.
No, they retconned it.
Yeah, they must have retconned it because saying it wasn't Ben Franklin. It was someone posing as Ben Franklin to seduce her. One of the villains of Strange's villains.
Nah, that's like what they did with Mockingbird. No, Ben Franklin was supposed to be a stud of his era.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
Yeah. I think I remember reading that. In France, he was quite the ladies' man.
Yeah.
Right. Whenever they show him, it looks like Danny DeVito. Penguin.
There was a really good show that HBO did, a miniseries. It was on John Adams, but Ben Franklin was a supporting character.
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti played John Adams. He actually was really, really good as John Adams. I was surprised.
Then they had what's his name under too, right? He had Dave Chappelle as Samuel Adams. Get you drunk.
Get you drunk.
So number 3.
I love that skit.
I know. Number 3 is Flash. We were just talking about this, you know, and I've been enjoying the series, and we talked a little about the rumors, you know, going at, you know, that they're going to replace them. I really hope they don't. To me, if they want to do 2 Flash stories, let Tom have Barry. I don't care about Barry. Barry, at this point, I don't care. I love the fact that we actually have Wally West, a nuclear family, with a guy who his wife lets him go out and fight and doesn't nag him about it. She supports him. Everything we want in a comic book, right? So of course
that's why you can't have it.
Right, I know. So yeah. So I'm hoping that they let this keep going, man, because man, I'm not sure what it is because remember they started they went from 1 to 88 and then they jumped to 750, I think it was. So I'm not exactly.
It was around it was when the Flash 750th issue came along.
Yeah.
Or the legacy numbering.
Legacy number, yeah. So either way, it's 2016, man. 2016. We're almost 2023, and the Flash is still going strong. Mm-hmm. We've had 3 writers.
Yeah.
Most would be like, wait, no, we've only had 2. Josh Williams. No, there was one guy in between. He did the Alchemist story.
I mean,
Kevin
Shinick. Back to was it? I think there was probably somebody. Well, Jeff Johns did Rebirth. That was Jeff Johns. I think there might have been somebody between him and Williamson. Sure.
Yeah. So, like I said, this is number 3. I love the ending of this. I just hope it continues to be great. All right. There was one I read this week. I can't remember what it was. The villain turned out to be Mangog. Do you remember what book that was?
I do. I'll let you know when it's my
all right, we'll get to that because I completely forgot now. I'm going through my books. I'm like, did I talk about that?
That shook me when I was like, holy smokes. I remember this SOB from.
Wouldn't it have had to have been Stargirl?
No, it wasn't Stargirl.
No, it wasn't. So I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember which it was because
did you say Mangog or Magog?
The one with the helmet, the Viking helmet.
The one that was in Dark. The one that was serving Darkseid in Justice League by Zack Snyder cut.
I'm pretty sure that was no, that was Steppenwolf.
Oh, sorry, Steppenwolf, but Mangog, he has the curl like a ram horn.
I think it's Magog because Gog was the big, huge guy that like granted wishes in that JSA run.
All right. So number 2. This was a fun book. It's also surprised me too. It's just 72 pages, and plus you get a backstory on each of the characters in here too, as they wrote it into the story, so it actually fits. It's not doesn't feel forced. So you get to learn about Hellchild, her backstory, and you also get to learn about Greta in here too because it's part, and then when they incorporated it, seeing the team up together, I said it just naturally flowed all the way through. And I've never read a Hell Child story before. Apparently, she's the son, the daughter of Harry. This is Marvel. She's the daughter of Ares, not Ares, but Hades. And then she's also basically she was betrothed to Dracula, so she's a vampire and a demigod. So I was like, "Is that really a thing?" I guess a demigod who also happens to be a vampire. But fun story. All right. And then my number one is Stargirl, The Lost Children.
What a surprise!
You know what though?
Just
because remember I said my number one book was going to be Turtles. Turtles was way down below because the quality was not the same.
Oh yeah, you didn't even talk about Turtles since I got here. It wasn't in your top 5. Wow.
Wow, it was further down below.
It was 19, Zach.
19, dude.
Are you serious? What'd they do? Did they make Casey Jones gay or something? Like,
well, no, that actually would have been an improvement. We got caught in an experiment. They introduced a new company that's barely even in the comic books. It's like a RCI or whatever it is, or whatever. I guess, and he got caught. He gained electricity power, so he became Electro. And he was going crazy and arresting people who were breaking the law, either by drag walking or maybe they didn't they didn't pay their bill on time or whatever. Like it was just he became so obsessed with the law, he snapped.
They
the Turtles
turned him into Carol Danvers from Civil War II.
He became a Karen, a super Karen.
Karen Jones.
Yes. And the Turtles basically had to work and to fight against him and basically administer a cure to him. The only way he stopped is because April O'Neil, who they basically drew looking like Sasha Banks' horse face, and they got rid of her. They got rid of her caboose, man. She was like a skinny, I guess Carl Danvers with boobs. I was like, man. Anyway, so basically, she talked him into basically with him, with Casey Jones told him, like, guess what? He's like, you know what? You're one to speak. You're breaking the law. How much you're just been stealing people's electricity and stuff and all to fight your lives? Like, but I'm trying to stop all the crime and stuff. I mean, that was funny though. Like, I'll give them credit. There was one scene in that book though, where they had April O'Neil save the Turtles because they're getting their asses kicked by Casey Jones with the superpowers, and she's like, Casey, quick, It's like, it's like what? He's like, you need to go to New Jersey. There's a riot breaking out, and it turns out there actually was a riot breaking out in New Jersey because New Jersey is basically all crime apparently. So I was like, wow, they're just really hating on new people from New Jersey. Is anybody in the crowd? Sorry. But getting back to this book, I'm just been loving it. It's just been fun. They sneak. We get to visit the Arrow Cave in this. You all right there, Breen? You hear you breathing in.
I was yawning.
Okay.
Sorry.
You got a long day. It's all right. Are we past pudding time for you?
I'm all right.
All right, just making sure. All right, so I'll wrap this up real quickly. They do. It's really cool. They do. Basically, Amiko takes. They stop at the Arrow Cave. You get to see. Basically, it's like forever. She's like, and she basically says to Stargirl, he's like, yeah, for a reason, Oliver for a while he had I guess not a hard on, but he basically wanted to be just like Batman. These guys shows the exactly like the whole layout and everything. It's
oh yeah.
The Arrow Carl, the Arrow plane.
There was a comic, I think, when Ollie came back from the dead, and somewhere around there, he had to get a ride from Batman to take him to his cave. And he's like, we could use my Arrowmobile or the Arrow signal. He's like doing all the tropes that Batman has, and Batman finally snapped. He's like, have you ever had an original idea in your life?
And then it was really cool. They showed like him like there's a Batman has like all the different statues, but he had like statues of like him and Speedy and all them back when they were trapped in the 40s. Mm-hmm. And she says like, wow, I can't believe your brother like shaved his beard off. And he's like, Well, back then villains had beards, so you didn't want to be known as a villain. Fun story. I said, this just feels like, Jeff Johns has never left DC comic books when he's writing this, when he writes Stargirl. It feels like it's back in the 1999 again, the way he writes. So, very fun book. That's why it's my number one. And Zach, you can go to your books now, because Green has one, but he hasn't read it, though.
Green has one book?
Yeah, and I'm dipping out. I was just holding down the fort till you got here.
Oh, well, thanks, Breen. I appreciate that.
No problem. I'll
see you tomorrow. But
you see you tomorrow for the
retrospective.
Yeah, more than likely. What are we retrospecting tomorrow?
Issue 2
of the DC Christmas with the.
That's right. Yeah, I'll probably will, unless something goofy happens, like my furnace dies, and then I'll be frozen to death anyway, so it won't matter.
Well, that's okay. We'll come save your books. I mean you, of course.
Wait. Wrap the books in like insulation so they don't get all frozen and stuff, water damage.
Yeah, really. All right, guys. Well, have a good rest of the stream.
All right. Good night, Bree.
Take care.
How cold is it up there? Has it warmed up any by you today?
We actually get any snow though this week. Or this we're supposed to get some snow in Florida a little bit, but not too bad.
Okay. We got our freeze warning goes into effect tonight.
Let me look. I'm not sure what it is right now, but the last I checked, it was like -1 outside.
See, right now my computer tells me it's 50 degrees. I feel like that needs to be
Dude,
updated,
that is tank top and shorts weather, bro.
Bruh. It was raining today too, so I know when it gets to it's supposed to freeze tonight. It's getting down to 18 degrees tonight. So the roads are going to be iced over. I told my brother to call in and not go to work tomorrow. -3. Jeez. And you still have 68% humidity.
And it feels like, well, no, yeah, humidity is 68% because it's kind of damp out there.
Yeah, all the water in the area.
But it feels like -25 with wind chill.
God, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Well, yeah, I can't go through the drive-thru because my window's frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow is let me look for tomorrow. Tomorrow high.
Meanwhile, over in San Diego, it's a beautiful looking day.
Dude, tomorrow, the high is 3, and the low is 1.
I will never live above Arkansas.
But don't worry though. Starting Friday, we only go back. We're going up now. We're going 3 degrees, 10 degrees on Saturday, 12 on Sunday, 20 on Monday, 28 on Tuesday. Wednesday is 34. It is just crazy how many it's just going on.
See, the low today, the low tonight is the lowest it will be. It's going to be 18 degrees tonight.
So get this. Next Thursday is 45 degrees.
The high or the low?
The high.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The low 41, and it's rain. And then 47 on, New Year's Eve, high of 44, and a low of 38, with a chance of rain.
Wait, how much wind chill does there have to be? It says 50 degrees, but it feels like 9. That's like 41 degrees difference in the wind. Louisiana doesn't get a lot of wind.
What's your wind speed?
I don't know. It doesn't say on this thing.
You should.
14 miles an hour. 14 miles. There it is.
There you go.
That's crazy. Yeah, tonight's the lowest cold that it'll get. Like, it's freezing over the weekend. Like, it'll be 20 degrees tomorrow and 22 on Saturday, 24 on Sunday. But then it starts to climb up into the 30s and 40s. So, I'm going to hunker down. I may go camp out at my parents so I don't have to risk driving on an icy road. God, that's a lot of books. Good Lord, man.
Plus, I got variants.
These are.
I got that. So I got that.
That's a good little stack. I got a few back issues in here. I didn't get any variants this week.
Oh. I was happy though. I got this one.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
I did not expect to have the variant, and then I got showing them before. I got for the Junkyard Joe. I got a variant too.
I was lucky. I got the last copy of Junkyard Joe at my LCS, and it's not that one. That one is amazing.
That one, yeah. So I got that. So and then I got both Scorched though.
That's cool.
So one of the connecting covers. But then I realized that this one wasn't connecting cover, but it was already there. I was like, crap, I forgot. I bought it anyway.
Yeah.
So, but if there wasn't any freaking Spawn covers, I wouldn't have gotten any variants for Scorch or Walking Dead. But because I got like 3 covers for Walking Dead.
How many books do I even have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 8 new books, and then 5 back issues.
Yeah, I mean, I got the Spawn variant for the Walking Dead Deluxe because I figured maybe that will go for more money because it's Spawn.
Yeah, maybe.
And then same with the Junkyard Joe because it has Geiger on it.
Yeah.
But then again, who knows?
Who knows?
I mean, this is the original cover.
Oh yeah, Abraham.
Yeah, Abraham and
Rosita and Eugene.
Look at Eugene.
God, Eugene looks so much worse in the comics than he did in the show.
Yeah. It's just 53. I'm not sure exactly what happens in this story, but I think this is when they show up though. Eugene and them show up.
Gotta be. Yeah, I think that's gotta be the one after the prison gets overrun, maybe.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, because he says like this is right after. Yeah, once they're still recovering at Herschel's farm.
Oh, that's right. The comics the storylines are different than the show.
Yeah. So this is right when they show up at Herschel's farm because Carl had just been shot and they surgery on him, so he's recovering, and then they show up. He's like, "You idiots! You're gonna cause a herd to come because you're firing one bullet. Sound travels, and they come towards it."
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Man, Andrea is so much hotter in the comic book than she was.
Yeah, she was.
They did her dirty, man.
She wasn't like suicidal in the comic either, from what I remember.
No, that wasn't Andrea. That was Maggie.
Was it Maggie? I thought it was
Maggie.
I thought it was Carol.
No, Carol was crazy. Carol actually killed herself in the show.
No, what Tyrese's daughter did. Tyrese's daughter had like a suicide pact with like a boy.
Yeah, another boy. That. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. All right.
But it was Maggie that basically tried killing herself, hanging herself.
It wasn't Beth. It was Maggie.
Because Beth was I don't think Beth was Beth even in this book. Yeah, she was. She was killed along with her parents. So Maggie was suicidal because she's a lone survivor.
Yeah. Beth was so good in the show though. Beth was one of the best characters in the show until they killed her. Freaking AMC. Okay. All right, 8 new books this week, starting at the bottom, going to the top. Number 8. I bought it just for the heck of it. I honestly didn't even no forethought was put into this, but it looked like fun, and it was Jed MacKay. So I got Mary Jane and Black Cat number 1, the Dark Web tie-in with the J. Scott Campbell cover. I mean, come on, you can't tell me that would you pass up Mary Jane and Black Cat drawn by J. Scott Campbell?
And I did, and that's why it was my number 20.
This was your 20? This is my 8. This is the bottom of my barrel too. Overall, look, it's not a terrible story. Like, I understand, like...
The second story was better.
Yeah, the little second story at the back where she's got the Doom mask, that was a fun little story. Yeah. There were parts of this that I liked. Like, I understand Peter and MJ aren't together right now, and I guess Peter is with Black Cat.
No, they're not. They're not.
Oh, they're not together?
And that's the thing, though. This whole story, though, I thought they were
together.
It was basically like... She shows up and she talks about I hate this woman, but Peter would want me to check in on her. Yeah.
Peter would, yeah. So Peter's being a good influence on her.
And she's like, she's like, this is the woman like that, that Peter likes, and I told MJ I keep my promise that I would not date him after they broke up.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
but she is though.
I
think she is because that's what, like, the inner dialogue.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, I think they are dating or they're doing something.
Well, they're going to probably. I don't know. Who knows?
Which is fine with me because
I was so annoyed though. I was so annoyed. Here, this woman's gone her way to rescue her rival, the one that she just can't stand because Peter always chooses her over him.
Well, see, I'm okay with that because it's Peter's good influence rubbing off on Black Cat, at least temporarily. So I didn't mind that, and I'm probably the only person who thinks like this. I like the jackpot powers where it's like a slot. It kind of reminds me of Dial H for Hero, like You just like she reaches out, she like pulls a slot, and it's like you're gonna get a good power or a bad power depending on.
I like the fact that Tony basically hung up on her.
Yeah, that was funny too. Where Felicia calls Tony because I guess they know each other because of the whole Iron Cat story. He also knows Mary Jane because Mary Jane used to work for him like years ago. So overall, it wasn't terrible. I'm not gonna say that. I
hate, and that's because this is not Agenda K's fault. This is because of Marvel, but they don't want MJ to like Peter at all. But she said she still what someone cares about him, but she's like, don't tell Peter I have powers because then he'll show up and like
yeah.
I'm like, dude, this guy loves you and do anything for you, and you just want nothing to do with him.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a fun little like I said, I did not plan on getting this. I just saw the cover. It's not a one shot. It's not a one shot. It's a miniseries.
Which is weird because it's a giant one. So I usually it means it's again one shot.
Yeah. Well, they don't do what DC does, where it's like one of.
Well, it's a spinoff though.
Yeah, it's a spinoff tie. It's a spinoff tie into Dark Web. Which Dark Web was funny because apparently, like, what is it? Limbo invaded New York, and so now everything is hell. And
because of Ben Reilly,
appliances and newspapers are trying to eat people. It kind of reminded me of Transformers, the first movie where the Allspark turns like all the appliances and machines into Decepticons.
Going before that reminds me of Ghostbusters when the ghosts were possessing the appliance stores, basically like your Sears. You had wash machines, vacuums coming after them. Yeah, and they're trying not to, and then Slimer gets sucked into the vacuum.
Yeah, it's like because Mary Jane is like fighting a toaster or something. And she's complaining how she got it was a hand-me-down from a relative. Yeah. Oh, it still has some life in it. She's like, maybe it's got too much life in it. So I don't know. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was a fun little story. The second story in the back was also really fun.
Because Tony's like, I'm a little busy. You're like, he's like, can you at least, hey, I know you're busy. Could you at least send those little those drones over to watch over her family? Over Mary Jane's family. I was like, they're not her family.
Yeah. But if you're trying to do a quick phone call,
I understand that. But the big thing is that Mary Jane would trust telling her that she has abilities to the guy that she barely knows instead of telling Peter.
Yeah. Well, but again, that's not a Jed MacKay problem. Though.
I know that's Marvel problem.
Yeah. All right, number 7, which is funny because that's the issue number. Dark Crisis, the final issue, Dawn of the DCU. I got the Nightwing Jesus cover.
Yes, because he pretty much is Jesus in this book.
He pretty much is now. Kyle Rayner was DC Jesus a few years ago. Now it's Nightwing's turn. Not terrible. Kind of a bit of a ending. Like I think issue 5 or 6, I had more fun reading than this one. This one was okay. I did like that it came down to basically a fight or a standoff between Nightwing and Deathstroke. I thought that was pretty cool because like Deathstroke is a Titans villain, not a Batman villain. So that was cool. I liked at the end when the dust settles and everything starts to get back to normal. Hal Jordan says he's going to stay on Earth for a bit. So okay, that's cool. Actually, who was it? I think it's Flash, maybe. It's like, have you ever thought of starting a family? Because he's standing there. There's like the
Flash whole thing.
And Green Lantern's like, dude, are you kidding? I have like the biggest family there is, and they show like the whole Green Lantern Corps behind him. It's like, technically, that's true. So yeah, not a bad way to wrap up an event. Just kind of, there were some more exciting issues. I did like the ending though. They do like the little stinger scene with Amanda Waller and the Council of Light.
Yes, that was it. Yeah.
So they've now decided that all metahumans are a liability, the heroes and the villains. And so Amanda Waller is going to have a new Suicide Squad.
And yes, with the gender swap version of Peacemaker.
Yeah, Peacemaker's got like a sister or a girlfriend or something now.
What's Peacemaker is a girl.
No, well, there's regular Peacemaker. Yeah. And then there's also Wrecker. I think her name is Peace Wrecker. So, yeah, there's that, and then there's a Batman guy with like a Green Lantern and Superman.
It's the Batman Who Laughs.
No, is it the Batman Who Laughs? I actually thought it was another. There was a villain. Christopher Priest wrote a story with the Justice League where there was like this fanboy that found a way to get every Justice League's power. Justice Leaguer's power. I forgot his name, but it was during Christopher Priest. It was a really short run he had on Justice League, but it was pretty good.
It's this character. It's this character, but it's the Batman Who Laughs with the Joker and Superman merged.
How is it the Batman Who Laughs then? If it's Superman and Batman,
it's another version. Realities.
Okay. Okay, whatever. I'll take your word for it.
Right?
But yeah, not a bad ending. The art is certainly fantastic. The Justice League is disbanded for the time being. Of course, we were also told the Justice League would be dead for a long time. But yeah. Yeah.
See the symbol on his chest?
Mm-hmm. It's like the S, but backwards. Yeah. It's like Bizarro style. He also looks like he has like a yellow lantern or ring or something. A Green Lantern ring, maybe? I don't know.
Well, so was this one. On the cover, he has the same glowing thing. See?
Yeah.
It's a green though. It's the opposite. That's all it is. It's basically the Batman Who Laughs. But he's basically in the Batman and Superman Who Laughs.
I really don't want it to be the Batman Who Laughs. I'm so getting used to a world without Batman Who Laughs. But overall, not a terrible issue.
And then I'm not sure who the other one. I think it might be Blue Beetle above them.
No, that wasn't Blue Beetle. Maybe it's one of the other Beetles, like Black Beetle, or because aren't there different?
But it is a Joker smile. That's all I know. It's a Joker-fied one.
Yeah. So that was number 7. Was the dawn of the DCU. I do like what was there in here?
But I mean, Dr. Light was really good part of this too.
Yeah. Now, what I would have done differently is because Dr. Light, if you didn't read the Big Bang, not the Big Bang, if you didn't read the Dark Army tie-in, you would be in the dark. You would know about Dr. Light and her involvement. But you would be in the dark. So I wish they had given her more to do. But I liked it though.
Did you like what Black Adam said?
What, where he's like, I would die with this young generation of kids or whatever?
Can you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Oh yeah, that's the Dwayne Johnson panel. He does the eyebrow and everything, and then he's like, at least you didn't die like you did.
Yep.
Wow, Black Adam. Wow. He did have a cool moment though in like the final battle.
At least
I say cool moment. I don't know who did it first, if it was Williamson that wrote it or if Taika Waititi wrote it first. But you know that scene from Thor Love and Thunder where Thor gives his power to all the kids? And you didn't see Love and Thunder?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a scene from Love and Thunder. I'm sorry I spoiled it for you. But Black Adam basically he gives his power or a fraction of his power to all the other Justice Leaguers. So like they're all like electrified and have lightning power. Like they get a power up. That was actually a pretty cool scene. That was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
All you had to say is like at least John didn't get canceled like you did by James Gunn. Oh wait, his book is canceled. He should have made a comment about Henry Cavill.
Why would he? This was probably written like months ago.
I'm sure everybody knew about it back then.
Okay. Anyway, number 6 on the list, going down the line, we have a Deceased, War of the Undead Gods. This is number 5.
With the clickbait cover.
Stuff finally gets... Yeah, so... Well, is it though? So one of these does not make an appearance. One of these characters does not show up. The other one does in a big way. Yeah, there is no Lobo in this one, sad to say. But you do get the Spectre. But not until the very end. We get some deaths. We get some action in this. Some Green Lanterns die.
Kilowog.
Rip Kilowog and John Stewart. John Stewart.
Yes,
that was... Actually, I thought we were gonna lose Kyle and Guy and Soranik in them, but
all the Green Lanterns, they were choking in space.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna lose all the Green Lanterns, but thankfully, we get Jim Corrigan stepping in as the Spectre. He's going after.
He's holding it because they attacked the Mr. Mitzi.
The OWA, the Central Battery. Yeah.
And he quickly grabs the bag. He's like, no one's gonna die.
First of all, who is it that's going after the Central Battery? So Mr. Mitsapitlik becomes a zombie, an imp who was going with the intention because he's fourth dimension. He could turn Darkseid into whatever, but he takes too long. He delays. Darkseid shows up. Which I
thought was kind of weird and out of characteristic.
No, I don't think so. Because he knows his power. He is just arrogant and cocky, and so he took too long. He didn't just go in there and be like, boom. but he became a zombie. So now not only is Darkseid a Yellow Lantern wielding zombie, but now Mr. Whatever his name is this
Pixie
fourth dimensional imp zombie who becomes the size of a planet. He like plows through Kilowog's planet, destroys Oa. It's a lot of action. There's a lot going on in this issue. This is like a really good, strong issue. And then, like I said, it ends with the Spectre saving all the Green Lanterns. So now he's holding on to the central power battery, and he's got like this giant sword, and he's going after Mr. Mxyzptlk. So really, really good issue. One of the strongest issues of this final chapter in DC so far. I've really enjoyed that one. Okay, number 4.
Yeah, I'll just say this about this, but DC's. It's Tom Diller doing what he does best, destroying DC characters.
All right. Number 4 was Scorched, number 13. I really liked this. It was like a standalone story, pretty much. It didn't tie in. It wasn't like necessarily a part of like the previous storyline going on before. It seemed like it was a one shot, so you could just pick it up and you could see, okay, well, there's She-Spawn and this new one called Freak, and then there was Holy Spawn or Medieval. I think it's Medieval Spawn.
And then the Mandarin.
Yeah, Mandarin Spawn, a new bad guy, Mandarin Spawn. It pretty much they land on like Mortal Kombat Island, and Mandarin Spawn is the guy who hosts the tournament.
They literally call him the Mandarin.
Yeah, well, Mandarin Spawn.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's.
But yeah, this new character Freak, I think he's going to be part of the team, and really, really interesting character. He's a little bit more sinister, a little bit creepier than a lot of the other Spawns are, but I really liked it. I liked what Sean Lewis and I think Todd McFarlane had some extra writing to fill in on this as well. But really, really good. Scorched I've really been enjoying it. Yeah, MK, it was kind of like Shang Tsung's island, pretty much, because it's like if you wanted to go to this island and be under this Mandarin Spawn's protection, you had to fight in a tournament-style arena.
So overall, though, you missed it because I was talking about it. I like the fact that She-Spawn was leading the team. She got more screen time.
Yeah, she was leading this little mission because, well, what it was Mandarin Spawn had like her information or her files
on all of them.
She's wanting to, and she's not there for all of them. She really just wants her own information because she wants to keep like her daughter safe. But yeah, I agree. It was good to see She-Spawn finally get some more screen time. Now if we can just get Gunslinger Spawn to get some more.
I was gonna say he wasn't in this issue.
He was not in this. It was just the 3 of them. Yeah. So now we're in my top 4. So number 4 this week, Junkyard Joe. Number 3, those beady eyes. No, this was a really exposition heavy issue, but it was done in a really, really good way. I really enjoyed this. You find out stuff about this family that moved in next to Muddy Davis, Junkyard Joe's creator, or not his creator, but like the only guy who lived from his platoon. You find out that the family, it's a dad and his 3 kids, and their mom died a ways back, and so they moved out to this little town in the middle of nowhere. And Jeff Johns did a really good job of giving each of the members of this neighbor family like their own personality and everything. I felt like he did a really good job with that. And then also with Muddy Davis and with Joe, Junkyard Joe had like this. He had like these like PTSD moments, which for a robot I thought was interesting to see. And then just seeing how the 2 of them reacted, or how this family was trying to react, because you find out like one of the daughters of this family is an artist, just like Muddy Davis was in this book. He's a retired cartoonist who drew these Junkyard Joe books. So you find out with this daughter, she's had bullying problems, and all of the kids really had bullying.
Well, so they're all facing racism.
Yeah, they're all Korean American.
San Francisco.
Yeah, they're from San Francisco.
But I like that the fact that the daughter chimed in is like that she's the oldest one. She's like the prima donna one.
Spoiled one, yeah.
Yeah, Emily, I think her name is. Mm-hmm. And then she goes he's like, yeah, I got bullied because I have like these Gucci purses. Like, I got them when I was 16. They're old. They're not even
right.
It's like
so I enjoyed it. Like I said, it was very exposition heavy, but I think the next one's gonna rack up on the action.
I need Joe to come out and shovel my driveway.
Right. Well, there's a guy from the VA that's trying to get Muddy Davis to like come speak to some of the other veterans.
So
he's like, no, that's okay. I'm gonna stay here and shovel my driveway. And the guy's like,
now,
but sir, it's like 8 inches of snow. You're 80. You'll hurt yourself. So, no, I think I got it.
What really what made me like this comic book is the moment that Muddy Davis, he basically reaches for the mug, drops the one that says best wife ever is his wife, and then that causes basically Joe to have PTSD.
Yeah, he has the flashbacks going back to that firefight he was in.
Yeah. And then whatever, because we also don't know what he's been doing since then. We just know that he's just basically like, he as well. Well, Davis finds out are these people are they looking for you, hunting you and stuff. He's like, you're all right, Joe. It's like and the little girl sees this through the window. The one, but apart from all that though, is that now because we know that Muddy Davis, he's the one that survived the platoon. He just lost his wife a year ago, the cancer or something like that, And then we know a little about these neighbors that moved in, but we also find out that their mother died. Mm-hmm. And then so it's like, oh my gosh, you're kind of seeing some two people who've lost a lot,
Yeah.
And in this, the dad struggling with this, it just felt so real,
Yeah, no, definitely. It's really good character work from Geoff Johns on this, and of course the art. Gary Frank does amazing with his art, even in these quiet moments. Really great book. Highly recommend Junkyard Joe. All right, getting to the top 3. These are all DC books. This was the DC week. Number 3 for me, we have Stargirl and the Lost Children. Number 2. Same thing as Junkyard Joe. This issue seemed to be very exposition-y right up until the end. The end, it gets a little bit more action. But, there's she and Emiko. They take one of Oliver's boats, and they're going off to this island to look for where this radio signal was coming from because they're looking for these lost sidekick characters. I did like the whole scene with the Arrow Cave. I don't know why they're still calling it the Arrow Cave. I thought they started calling it the Quiver like a long time ago.
I know they call it Injustice. They call it the Quiver.
That might be it. It might be an Injustice. They called it the Quiver,
and they made fun of it. Yeah,
but in this, I mean, it was really good. I mean, some of what you talked about when they're looking at this old statue of Green Arrow from like the 40s and 50s without the goatee, because back then the bad guys were the ones that had the goatees. Yeah. So that was really fun to read, but a lot of it is exposition right up until they get to this island, and they get attacked by these egg-looking costumes. They're kind of goofy looking, but then you find out they're actually containment pods that hold people inside them.
Emiko, or Miko, whatever name, or Emiko, talking about the island and stuff, how she grew up on. She's having flashbacks. She had her own little PTSD moment too. Yeah,
that's right. Because she talks about how she was kidnapped and kept on this island before she knew Oliver Queen was her stepbrother.
And she's upset because he never came looking for her. But then she's like, "Why don't you tell me?" She's like, "Well, it's not fair because he had no idea."
He had no idea she was alive. Yeah,
because she was born. She was basically born there.
Then they land on this island and there's sand, and it's interesting because Courtney says that the sand reminds her of Miraclo, which is what Hourman uses. That's his
hourglass
drug. Yeah. So that was interesting. And then at the very end, it gets really interesting because then we see some of the sidekicks that she's sent to find. You see Wing, and there's Cherry Bomb and Airwave and the little robot dog.
She also even said is like, it's like she was talking to Emiko. It's like, everyone's like, man, I hope we don't find them and they're like 90 years old. And it's like, just about it's like, are we saving them from death anyway? If they're just gonna die shortly because they're really old.
Yeah, right.
So overall, it's, I forgot who the villain is. They show the villain at the end.
They didn't show the villain yet.
No,
they showed a finger on a button, but that was it. They didn't show the villain yet.
It's gonna be the Ultra Humanite.
No, I don't think so. It looks like a normal human finger.
Yeah.
but we'll find out probably. I would imagine the next issue or.
But yeah, they're on the ship and they're like I'm thinking like, man, I've seen this show before.
Mm-hmm. All
right. They're gonna crash land. They're gonna get caught in a hurricane or whatever, and it's like the boat's gonna crash and they're gonna get stranded on an island. But pretty much, but it's funny because like where they're going is pretty much it's a man-made island in the Bermuda Triangle, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But not in the Bermuda Triangle. It's just in a separate part of the ocean.
Diablo Triangle, they called it.
Yeah.
All right, book number 2.
Is it Our Man? Is Our Man the villain?
No, I don't think he's gonna be the villain. Book number 2 is World's Finest, number 10. This is the one has Magog at the end.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Oh yeah, now I remember. Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, this was really good. Really good issue here with the Joker. Because so if you remember the last issue, Joker kidnaps or captures Boy Thunder, real name David. And in this, it picks up, he's interrogating him because he thinks that Boy Thunder knows Superman and Batman's secret identities. So he's trying to get the secret identities from him. And of course, he doesn't know. So Joker's like beating him up and he's like causing him to hallucinate. And so meanwhile, there's this really cool. So Batman, Superman, and the Teen Titans, they're turning Gotham upside down trying to find him. And what happens is Batman finds this. There's this room Batman finds access to, but it looks like a scene from Monsters Incorporated with all the doors. So the key's got like all these doors all over the place, but there's only one door that leads to where he and Boy Thunder and Joker are. But there's like thousands of doors to go through, and so like they're going through them and they're just like wasting time. The way that they figure out which door to use is really, really cool. I'm not going to spoil it in case anyone hasn't read this yet, but you should read it because it's really cool. I thought how they figured out and deduced which door was the right one. But then when they go in there, there's a really funny scene. Somehow I forgot how, but like an alien monster gets summoned, and so the Titans are fighting it, and Roy Harper's like, I have an effing bow and arrow against a giant alien monster. But yeah, so the ending is, so Boy Thunder, he is a good guy, MK, but he gets tortured and almost driven to the point of insanity by the Joker. So much so he almost has a Superman moment. Like if you remember Superman from Injustice, where he goes crazy and kills Joker, Boy Thunder almost has a very similar situation here. And the ending, the way the book ends is like, it blew my mind. I was like, because actually that character, Magog, was created by Mark Waid.
Yeah.
So it would make sense if he tried to reincorporate him back in this way. Really, really cool issue. Not as like, it's got some lighthearted moments, but it's not as like bright and cheery as past issues have been. Still a really, really good issue. And of course, Dan.
The kid's being held hostage. He's sitting there. The Key tells him a story about, this is the origin story of the Key.
The Key's origin story, yeah.
And you also get Joker sprays him with a fear gas, almost kind of like it's a Joker venom fear gas.
Yeah, makes them see Batman and Superman and everybody else as Joker versions of themselves.
Yeah, and they shows him a mirror, even himself, and he freaks out. It's weird. It's very, oh man, art by Dan Mora just was really creepy.
Yeah. And then what the Key finds out that David is from an alternate reality or a multiverse. Yeah. And so before, he didn't really need David. He just thought he was a means to an end to like get something from the Joker. So now, I mean, who knows?
He said you're a pretty lucky boy because usually, he just goes straight for the kill, but he's distracted.
He's been keeping you around, yeah. So, all right, that was number 2, which means you can probably guess what my number 1 is. Probably can guess. In case you can't guess, it was Flash 789. Fantastic issue, probably one of my favorite issues to date of the Flash. Just real great. We have Pied Piper shows up and saves Wally from the Rogues after the last issue. And then we find out exactly what's going on with Mayor Wolf, why he's like this guy because Wally takes the fight to him basically because Wolf has put like all of Central City, it's under curfew and he's deputized the Rogues.
Yeah.
So Wally just like goes to his office, and just starts talking to him and like questioning him and stuff. And then he almost has a Batman moment. Like he figures it out and he deduces like who's controlling him and what's going on. Yeah. He's like, you keep saying order, 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 and I only know one group that uses order as much as you say it. And he finds out who's controlling him. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really neat reveal.
Yeah.
And then there's also this really awesome panel. I posted it actually on my Twitter. It's probably the best page, like full page speech in a comic that I've read all year, probably.
Why don't you show it?
I don't want to spoil who. Well, I don't think it gives away who he's talking to. I don't want to spoil like who it is that controls Wolf or anything. But there's like this whole panel right here. It reminded me a lot of Doctor Who, where he's like, if it'll focus and I can read on the screen. This is what I know. I am the Flash. I am the... Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I can't read it that way. It's too fuzzy. It says, I am the Unmoored. I've run through more worlds and dimensions than anyone in the universe. I sat in the Morbius chair. Basically, he's listing off all the kick-ass things that he's done.
Because he's saying, yeah, because you want to take away our free will. And it's the reason why we need free will to choose, because not all... Yeah. Even our good people can be worse villains can be changed and helped out,
you know? Yeah, because what Wolf is trying to do is he is taking away free will and the rights of the citizens of Central City. So Wally is making an appeal like, hey, listen, give them a chance to do the right thing, and people are going to do the right thing. So fantastic issue overall. It's also really funny because at the end, he's like, okay, Rogue, so you actually want to like obey the law and like go on the straight and narrow? And all the rogues just stand there and then they start laughing at him. It's like, they're like, no, not really.
I love the fact that before, like, Trickster's like, I knew the guy was going to end up betraying us, becoming possessed or something like that. Knew it.
So fantastic book. Great issue. Continues to be a great issue.
Well, we also learned that what's his name?
Who?
Hartley. Pied Piper's also worked for Mr. Terrific.
Oh yeah. Hartley works for Mr. Terrific now too. Yeah.
He's like, oh, we can go have free lunch together because they all get free lunch.
Yep.
And I love Linda's like, it's just in the time, guys. Focus. Like, oh, you're right.
What are y'all doing? I like how too every time they show Wally bringing somebody home, they show Irie jumping off of the couch like she's a professional wrestler, like she's about to like just power slam on somebody. Every time, look at every panel that shows her jumping off the couch. It looks like somebody's about to take an elbow to the face. It's awesome. I did also pick up a few back issues this week as well. I'll show real quick.
Well, they get free lunch paid from their
free lunch from their job.
Yeah, they work for Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, and his laboratory, he basically provides them with any food they want. It's free.
So I picked up a Fantastic Four. This is $3.77.
I like that costume. That's the good
costume. I know, right there, right? That costume?
Yeah. The Harlot costume.
Also, this is where the Thing got his face scratched up, so he has to wear a helmet.
He becomes the Guardian.
So got that, and then I got the one that comes after that, $3.78.
Is this where they go to different planets?
I don't believe so. I haven't read this one. It looks like there's a bunch of bad guys that want to kill the Fantastic Four.
There's one where they meet the Beyond, and they search for Reed Richards because Reed Richards is missing.
Well, he's not missing here.
Yeah, but eventually they go to a different planet. Yeah, because they have to go against the guy who's using hyper time.
Mm-hmm.
So that.
Found a Justice League of America comic. I saw the cover. The cover made me laugh. Like they're just sitting in a pot.
Who's the Gold? That Gold Star?
No, that's Power Girl. That was Power Girl's costume back in the day.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, I know. It's bizarre. Also, Metamorpho, you can slide out of those. Like
you turn into gas or water. What do you want to turn?
Really, but Giffen and Dematis or Dematis.
That looks like a Looney Tunes.
Right? It's just funny. Like it just looks like those Justice League International.
Or Bugs Bunny. He's in the thing. He's like, oh, carrots. He's bathing in the hot water.
And then here's one I saw that I know Venkman likes. Airboy. This is the first issue, nice. #1 from Eclipse Comics.
How much did you pay for that?
This was $4, but it was half off, so I paid $2 for it.
Really? Is your comic book store doing half off now?
The one I go to for my back issues is. The one I go back issue hunting, they're doing a half off sale.
My normal bookstore you get 20% off is doing the half off now. Back issues.
I get 20% off of the comic shop I mainly go to get my new issues because I have a pull box there, so they give me 20% off. But I don't do a whole lot of back issue hunting there because they have a very limited supply. The other one I do all my back issue hunting at, they have a half off sale going until Christmas Eve. So
Airboy's superpower is he gets to bang a Valkyrie.
Yeah, for real. That's a superpower.
Which was his grandfather's girlfriend.
These were the only two. I thought it was his dad.
Or I don't know, but she's from World War II. But she wakes up in the.
Yeah, wasn't she like frozen or suspended in time or something?
Something like that.
They only had the first 2 issues. They had one from like a mini series, but these were the only 2 from the ongoing that they had. And then I got, in addition to that, I found a trade. I kind of wanted to check it out because they have a new season coming on Amazon. So I did get the comic trade Vox Machina Origins. This is volume 1. So I've been wanting something kind of fantasy to read that isn't Lord of the Rings. So, and the art's pretty cool looking. So I haven't gotten to read it yet, but I'm going to check that out. And I think that's about all I got for comics this week. Couldn't find the Fantastic Four from John Byrne. Couldn't find the Omnibus Volume 2. But
that's what in-stock trade is for.
That is what in-stock trades or organic price books are for. Yep, absolutely.
Or organic. It sounds like they're just going to like a
fresh
market.
If you can't find something on in-stock trades, I found this other site. Facebook recommended it. It's called Organic Priced Books, and they do the same thing in-stock trades does.
And
they offer the hardcovers, but at like usually a 20 or more % off.
Yeah, so. and Rhaegar, I just want to say that blowing people to death, that's your job with Reed.
Oh no, no, Rhaegar, why do you come here? You know he's going to say something like that. Why do you give him the opportunity?
Reed does every time.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so so we got a little fun week going on here with a lot of stuff going on. I said I had fun last night talking about the best books of 2022. Starting off with the Mary Sue.
Oh God! Please tell me we're not going to go through that list again.
No, we couldn't.
That gave me so much. That gave me a throbbing headache.
A throbbing headache? You hear that turned on?
Like a vein above my eye felt like it was going to pop out. Like it was awful. And you know what? I went to go look at IGN's best comics of 2022. They had so many of the same books, and the paragraphs were written. It's like somebody at IGN copied off of Mary Sue, or somebody at Mary Sue copied off of IGN. But
right.
So
it's.
Oh yeah, actually, Austin. Speaking of Mike S. Miller, I did get this on the mail this week. He had this book a long time ago, about a year or so. He coordinated and set up with Mike Barron and Matt Weldon. This is his Monster Hunt crossover. Let's Get Kraken. So he's got his Lone Star character in here, along with Mike Barron's Nexus and Doug TenNaples, Bigfoot Bill, several other characters. I think Badger actually shows up in here too, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so
yeah. Speaking of, he said Mike S. Miller. That jogged my memory.
Yeah, that's great. So tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I don't care for the cover art. The cover art is done by Steven Stefano and Larry Mahals.
It's a little. I can't put my finger on it. There's something about it that doesn't right.
So
I like the idea of it, though.
We are getting a Dead Men story in this. There's also a Flash Green Lantern story by. Okay, here's the stories for tomorrow. In this for tomorrow, we're reviewing this. First one is Superman Ex Machina by Paul Chadwick.
Okay.
Doing the penciling and the art. Then we have Batman and In the Depths by Dave Gibbons, drawn and inked by and colored by Gary Morrow. And then Wonder Woman Gifts. Eric Shanower does the penciling, the writing, and the inking.
Okay.
He's also the letterer too. And then Enemy Ace, Silent Night, John Byrne does it with Andy Kubert on inks. So, Flash and Green Lantern, an old-fashioned Christmas. William Mesner Loebs is the writer. Colleen Duran is the penciling, and Ty Templeton is inking.
A woman in comics? Mary Sue lied to me.
And then Deadman wraps up with the last final story with Alan Brennert and Dick Giordano doing the inking and the penciling.
Okay, right on.
So looks pretty cool. And this just came out in 1989.
Okay, so that's a year after I was born. I was a wee lad. MK, I have no idea who that is. An Image book about a guy who carries a suitcase, takes a pill, and gets temporary superpowers. I do not know who that might be. It almost sounds like Dial H for Hero, but they don't take a pill. You know what it
reminds you of? Limitless.
Does kind of remind me. Yeah, where you like takes
Bradley
the pill.
Cooper.
Actually, I thought about that when the key, like when they retcon the key, because he's talking about, you know how people say they only use 10% of their brain, and then it turns out like that's not true. I was like, oh, Limitless was a lie.
There was also a Netflix show or movie.
They did a show. Yeah, because it had Bradley Cooper.
No, not the show. I'm not talking about. It's different. There was one with Elijah. I think it might have been Elijah Wood. Might have been it too. A movie where people get superpowers through a pill that's being passed around to the black market.
No. Oh, I know what you're talking about. It wasn't Elijah Wood though. I think it was Jake Gyllenhaal.
Was it Jake Gyllenhaal or was it Topher Grace?
No, it wasn't Topher Grace.
One of the three.
I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up though because it's gonna bother me.
The art style, I like the coloring style, the coloring Marania, but I just don't care for the Raleigh Rossmo Robin or Nightwing, you say. Why does Aquaman look like he's been hitting the alcohol for the past 40 years?
Oh, it was Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's who, and Jamie Foxx.
Okay, yeah,
that's who it was. It's called Project Power.
Yep, that's what it was. Project Power.
Yep, that's it. MK's got it.
That's the movie. I don't know if it's based off a comic book or not. That's what you're talking about. But I don't. But yeah, this will be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And then after that, stay tuned because we might do. I know we're doing a reading, and we might do 2 readings. It all depends on what Pixel's up to.
We should try to read the JSA Christmas issue. That's really fun.
We could do that. But yeah, tomorrow night. And then as far as I know, Marani will be here, and Zach will be reading. Anybody else who might want to read with us, just let us know.
Yep.
I think Trusty's going to be out this Friday because he's out of town. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. And then if you're going to be up late tonight, 11 o'clock Central or 9 o'clock on the West Coast, join us over on Twitch on Skipintosh's channel, where he, myself, and Ash on Comics will be wrapping up our Fantastic Four chapter of the Hickman retrospect. We'll be winding down. We're coming to the end of Hickman's Fantastic Four run. I think we're going to still have some of his Future Foundation to go through, but we're going to finish up his Fantastic Four run, and then we'll do Future Foundation, and then move into his Avengers run. A lot of Hickman goodness to be found. I'm rediscovering how much I loved his stuff. So,
all right. So apparently, we're getting Fast and Furious. 10 is going to have Gal Gadot return.
I read that earlier today. I always thought that she was still alive because they didn't show a body. If you don't show the body, they're not dead in movies. That's the rule.
I guess she's just trying to make more money, so she won't be Wonder Woman anymore.
Well, actors and actresses are always
unless because Zachary Levi is coming outside. He said he said I'm not fired, bro.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking? Yeah, your movie's still coming out, and then after that, you're gone.
But Black Adam even said that he's like Dwayne Johnson said that he's talked with James Gunn about opportunities for Black Adam to come in this new retcon DCU.
Yeah, but right now it sounds like they just want to go with a younger cast and just redo everything. I think these guys they're going to reboot everybody.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Why would you kick Cavill out?
Look, it's all. Well, first of all, Shazam and Black Adam are magical. Like they're kids. And then they show Shazam, or they say the magic.
Black Adam's not a kid.
No, Black Adam. No, you're right. He's not. He's a scrawnier guy. Anyway, but you get me off track. We're not going to know anything until January, which is when James Gunn has said he's going to start putting out announcements of what movies are coming down the pipe. So anything that comes out, James Gunn is a master of teasing people and tricks and misdirection. So we have no clue what's coming.
So maybe Cavell is a whole thing, misdirection. He's actually still in there.
Maybe it is. Maybe Gal Gadot still is. I mean,
yeah.
I'm leaning towards not, but who knows? We're not going to know for sure until January.
So anyway, also apparently Charlie Cox has said that basically Daredevil Born Again is 18. It is 18 episodes for the first season.
18. I know Wonder Man is supposed to have more episodes than She-Hulk. I read.
So the first Disney show they'll have 18 episodes.
That's a lot. Wow.
You know what though? It's like having a regular TV series like you had in CW. Let's go for like 25,
awesome.
24.
Is it going to be like a weekly thing, like a new episode each week? Because that'll last you for a good long while.
I'm going off of CBR because his shooting schedule is you see no information about the script or anything, all the outlines received, but he also about the.
See, and I actually kind of agreed with his statement. Yeah. I know that you did like it, where he's like, you don't have to be gory to tell a dark story, like Born Again. I kind of agree with that. You really don't have to be gory to tell a dark story, heavy story like that. Like one of the goriest moments in Daredevil season 1, they don't even show it, but it's like when Kingpin is just like slamming the door on that guy's head. You don't see it, but you just like see him slamming the door and you can hear it. Like that's all you need. You don't need to see it. So,
well, yeah, but I don't know. I guess I just.
Yeah, if it was
we live in a world where we've had shows like The Boys, we've had shows like other ones where we had Daredevil on Netflix.
I understand.
I just don't want them to nerf my boy Kingpin if he's in this, or even Bullseye.
Your boy Kingpin survived a car, an exploding arrow, and a gunshot to the face in Hawkeye.
But he wasn't allowed to kill Kate's mom.
Well, did he not kill Kate's mom?
No, he was going to do it, and Kate jumped in at the last minute to save him.
I need to go back and rewatch it. Actually.
She was in the car, and he was going to kill her, and then Dusty ripped the door off. He was going to grab her, and then Kate got involved. So,
she already lost one parent.
Honestly, Dark and Gritty.
The dad's not dead either.
Dark and Gritty is only overplayed in the as far as the Titans, edgy and stuff.
No, Dark and Gritty is overplayed in general. It is overplayed.
The Netflix. I'm sorry.
A lot of the
Netflix series, the Netflix series, worked with Daredevil. The hallway scenes of fighting, him struggling.
Jessica Jones, I could say it also worked, but Luke Cage even to a degree. But like with Iron Fist doesn't need to be dark and gritty.
No, yeah. But I'm saying, I just like, I don't want like a happy-go-lucky Batman either. Like, we can't have dark and gritty anymore. That's pretty what Batman is. He's pretty much the Dark Knight.
So you don't watch Brave and the Bold then?
The Brave and Bold was hokey, bro.
The Brave and the Bold was exactly what you're talking about.
The Brave and the Bold was back before the the callback. That was kind of like the Silver Age.
Kinda. No.
Yeah.
I agree. All I'm saying is
that was before Neil Adams and Daniel O'Neill basically got him back to being.
I think with a lot of characters, you can balance between the two. Or like Daredevil, he can be a dark character. You can have like Born Again and whatever. But then let's not forget, the guy also had the yellow and red costume.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not all serious, guys.
Yeah, so. Well, that he said that. Yes, like I said, I'm not saying that The Brave and the Bold was a bad show. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I still prefer the darker, grittier, Daredevil.
I hear you. That's fine.
Yeah, he's not going around like Daredevil's like, I'm just going to Wolverine to start killing people. But but imagine if Wolverine didn't kill any people because it's just too violent.
That would be terrible. Yeah, absolutely. I wonder though, Miranda. I gotta say, I gotta think they'd go closer to an hour. Maybe not 30 minutes. Maybe not like a full hour. But I gotta think they'd be at least 40, 45 minutes.
They haven't said anything about that. I was just looking at an article on CBR.
Yeah, but I know they're gonna have. I think Wonder Man has like a 10 episode season ordered for Wonder Man. This is the first time I'm hearing about 18 for Daredevil. That's crazy.
So apparently it's going to come out in spring of 2024, and the show reportedly has a TVMA rating.
Oh well,
the pilot will contain graphic violence and mature content similar to its Netflix precedent.
There you go.
So it's
looks like they're not going to change it too much.
Yeah. Cox just shared his views on the show's potential rating, insisting it didn't have to be TVMA, but it's still going to be TVMA. So screw you, Cox. As long as you can give me what I need, I'm good. Pretty much.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just I just don't care when actors complain about like, oh, I don't want it to be this. It's like, dude, you're getting paid. Shut up.
I don't think it's complaining. I think what it is he's just making a point like, well, he's like the comic book industry, right? You want to get new readers.
It'd be like John Bernthal. John Bernthal is like, oh, I don't think the Punisher should use guns, but then he goes and does
John Bernthal's not going to say that because John Bernthal loves the Punisher.
I know, but
he's not going to say that.
Well, you know what I mean, though. It's like
I get what you're saying, but I think I think what Charlie Cox is trying to say is like, because there are parents that aren't going to let their kids watch gory things. And so he wants to make something that can be watched by more people than just the
Of course, the parents aren't going to let you think, but we're kids. We go around the parents' backs.
I'm not going to say anything because I've certainly have done that, but I can understand where he's coming from, though. I don't think it's him crying or like saying.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like I said, it goes back to the whole thing with the WWE. They decided to become PG. They went away from all that stuff because they wanted to get more deals, like especially with Mattel. That's why they just fired one of their more popular female wrestlers because Mattel didn't like the fact that she was doing OnlyFans. Well, it turns out that she chose right because she's making almost close to $1 million more than she was wrestling in WWE. Oh well, I mean, like I said, I don't care for OnlyFans. I think it's dumb that people pay for that stuff.
Yeah,
you could just wait for it to get the leaked if you want to.
Yeah, you could. That's true.
But I never understood that. Or you can just find a girlfriend. Right. All right. So yeah. So that was out. That's I don't think there's anything else to talk about as far as news stuff.
No, they had the new Puss in Boots movie come out. I was actually I was this close to going to go see it tonight. My brother tells me apparently they teased making a Shrek 5 in it, which I don't think needs to happen. But
new Avatar animated series in the works, set after Legend of Korra.
God, could it be better than Legend of Korra?
Oh yeah, and also Charlie Cox has a movie on Netflix where he's going to be like a MI6 agent or approach. Apparently he's in with Olga, whatever her name is, the girl from
that James Bond movie.
Yeah, Quantum
of Solace. Yeah. I saw a commercial. I saw a preview for that one. It looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah, where he's basically caught in a web of basically blackmail because somehow she pulled string to give him be the youngest leader of the MI6, and now and then she's like, now you work for me. He's like, no, I don't, and he's having it's just yeah.
Now, did you hear about? Because we are getting. They've been saying for a while that Jason Aaron is getting ready to leave the Avengers, and I just saw this article, and I'm trying to find out what day or what the cover is. It looks like Avengers Assemble Omega is going to be his final issue, April 19th, and that should be the last time we have Jason Aaron's name on an Avengers book. Gotta wait till April, guys. Then maybe we'll get someone good.
Also, Westworld is apparently been officially deleted by HBO Max. It's no longer available on there.
Really?
Yep, they got rid of it.
Wow. Well, I know sometimes what they'll do is they'll do what Netflix used to do. Well, or maybe Netflix still does. They drop a movie for a certain amount of time, and then they bring it back.
All right, and then, dude, have you checked out the '90s show?
No, I haven't yet. I was never a big fan of that
trailer, and then I'm just saying Eric Foreman and so they look like they're in the 40s almost, like they show them. And so is Donna.
Is it all the same characters from that '70s show?
Well, they're coming back. All the characters come back except for Hyde because Hyde is blackballed by Netflix.
Was Hyde the one that got arrested or something recently?
Well, accused of rape.
Or Me Too'd?
Me Too'd accused of rape, but as far as
I was never a big fan of Hyde in the first place.
I love his character.
The only one I really watched for was Ashton Kutcher and Mia Kunis. Those were the only two characters that I liked. I thought Bez was annoying, and Topher Grace was a whiny little bitch. He's not coming back, which kind of sucks because he was my favorite character on The Ranch. Played Rooster. Ashton Kutcher?
No. Danny Masterson
on The Ranch?
Yeah, Danny Masterson. It was his brother. They're brothers.
I did not know that. Okay.
And Sam Elliott was their father. And it's fun because Elliott, I knew, yeah. Sam Elliott was pro Ford. And he ended up dating a woman who was Chevy. He's like, And I love the whole Chevy. If you ever watch a show, like Sam Elliott is old school. He's like, he's like, yeah, I'm pro for you. He's like, oh, hey, if you ever break down that Chevy, let me know. She's like, don't worry, I'll let you know. But don't worry about, your chances are your Ford's not even gonna leave that driveway anyway. So,
well, I know Sam Elliott is also pro Ghost Horse from what I saw of him in Ghost Rider.
Yeah. So but looking at Eric Foreman, it's basically it's the grandkids. It's not the 90s. It's been 20 years now since they're kids, so they're probably like in their 30s now, probably. And Donna and Eric have a daughter, and I believe is it the daughter from Stranger? And is it the girl from Stranger Things playing the daughter now?
The girl from Stranger Things was in The Whale, or is in The Whale.
Oh, she's in The Whale. I'm trying to think. Yeah.
Yeah, she's in The Whale. Not Millie Bobby Brown, the other one, the redhead. I don't know though. It sounds like it's trying to do like Boy Meets World, where they make.
Yeah. It's a grandchild coming over, and Red and they found in the trailer I saw they found barely an old joint down there and they decided to smoke it. So they're all doing the whole thing. The camera, they're all doing the thing. Like,
is it doing the thing, the round circle? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, but it's got Red and it's got and Kitty, because I guess they're spending the summer at their grandparents, and his other friends. So no, I'm not talking about Milli Vanilli. I was talking about I thought it was the girl who was the redhead. The one.
Is it Donna?
No, I'm not. No, I'm talking about Stranger Things.
Donna's the red. Oh, Stranger Things. No, that was Sadie. I think it was Sadie.
I'm not sure. I thought she's in it. Maybe not. I might be mistaken. Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna find. Her real name is Sadie. Her name in the show was Max.
Yeah.
Max. Yeah, that's what it was. But she's in The Whale. I know that's the big thing.
All right. So my question: what's going on with The Witcher? Did he already record season 3 and they're releasing season 3 with Henry Cavill, or they have Liam Hemsworth as season 3?
I think season 3 is gonna have Liam Hemsworth. Oh no! I think they recorded. I think that Henry Cavill is in season 3.
Okay, because I can actually watch season 3, then it gets Henry Cavill, because that's what that's about.
It's not a whole lot. It's 4 issues or four issues, 4 episodes.
4 issues.
4 is what I'm seeing here. I think it's supposed to come out on Christmas Day. It's saying. Hang on, let me check this out.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I want to make sure.
All right.
Witcher season 3. Give me a release date or an episode count. That's all I need, Google. And it's not going to give it to me.
Yeah. Well, the other things that came back this week, as we saw on Amazon Prime, for those who are basically liking Jack Ryan, season 3 just dropped yesterday, earlier this morning. So you can go check that out. I believe they dropped all of it once. Yeah, I think all of it once. The whole season is dropped. There's like 8 or 9 episodes. And then and Netflix has some new stuff coming out.
Okay, I found it. I take it back. Witcher season 3 does not come out on Christmas. That's the spinoff show that looks awful.
Oh yeah, the Blood Moon or
the Blood Origin or whatever. Yeah, Witcher season 3 comes out next summer, and it does look like it is Henry Cavill. Like he is already in shooting, and that might already be done. But then, so going into season 4 is when they'll replace him with the lesser Hemsworth.
Primetime 139. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Is that a show?
I have no idea.
I don't know. And Amazon Prime is $139, so I'm not sure what. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so not much else to talk about. It's we got some stuff going on tomorrow. Be sure to check out. And Rhaegar, sometimes you miss because you don't get the notification. So just if we do read on the story, just make sure you just stay tuned. And I will let you know if we're gonna do a second story. I don't know, because sometimes we do it. And I know you guys are basically trained to like, all right, we're going after the reading. Yeah. But how many Walking Dead shirts coming out? Well, we got Negan and Maggie are in one. Then we have Michonne and Rick in one, and then we have Daryl in one. So 3 of them. Plus, we also have the returning season of Fear the Walking Dead, which is still going on. So with Morgan's crew and all that stuff. Alicia's character exiting the show.
Glad to see Walking Dead is still going strong.
And Madison Clark is back. So
I heard about that. I heard they got her back.
And her and Morgan are working together, which sucks because people said it's like, wow, that actress left the show, but they didn't at least have Alicia meet her mother, know their mother's life one last time.
Right.
No, they'll never meet.
Yeah.
I was like, stupid. All right, though. That's it for tonight. For best of the week. Like I said, go check out. We have our best comics of 2022 stream we did last night. Check that out. Just great. Reed Richards love Little Rhaegar the most.
I know. Sue Storm is actually jealous of Little Rhaegar.
It puts the lotion on their feet or it gets the hose. No, he doesn't. He only likes his burr. Yeah, that's Reed when he's got chew in his mouth. He just speaks an impediment like that. Got your burr. Trusty, since you're here, are you available for a reading? Or are you going out of town? I know some people leave or are gone for the whole week, or at least for the weekends, because Christmas on Sunday. But yeah. If you guys haven't already done so, please click like. Leave a comment down below what books you got this week, or if you say you didn't get the books this week, what books did you read this week? Even back issues. Give us what you would be considered if you read more than one or one or two or at least 5 or whatever. Leave them down below in the comments. And also subscribe because we need more people to talk to. I appreciate everybody who showed up tonight. It's been flat. When watching, it goes down to 4, then it goes back up to 9, and then it's like, I'm like, man, either people are losing power because of storms, or we're just really killing him softly. Worse than Brad Pitt's movie. You've never seen that movie, Killing Him Softly?
No, I've never seen that movie.
Wow.
No.
Well, you're fortunate. I am scarred.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, we almost got up the double digits. Yeah, we never get that. Or high. We sometimes we do. You know. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. You said if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Also, we have a Ko-Fi link down below. What you're asking? What, donate money? Well, you can donate $1 if you want to, or if because you ask where the money goes. Money goes towards my beer fund. It also goes towards Breen Cigarette Fund, and more importantly, it goes towards the StreamYard, paying that for every month. It's $25 or $20 a month. And then we also pay for the Marvel app and the DC reading app, which are both like $80 separate a piece for a year, annual or something. And I can help Professor Pixel, who owns this channel. He's basically paying for all of it himself. So if you want to give him a Christmas present, leave him some money, you know. Also, like to ask you guys to share the stream out and
share it out as we're ending.
Well, people can watch a replay.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, we are replayable. Yes, unlike video games, we have replay. All right. Good night, guys.
We'll see you tomorrow. Stay warm.
Yep. Later.